Welcome back. The nation's top infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, says he has major concerns about the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday and how family gatherings may contribute to the spread of COVID-19. Washington correspondent Morgan Wright speaks with Dr. Fauci about his message to families this year as they begin to plan or rethink the holiday and how Americans can gather safely.
We're in a position that's really precarious.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's top infectious disease expert, says the coronavirus isn't letting up.
The average per week is about 70,000 cases per day. That is extraordinarily high.
Fauci says the outbreak is headed in the wrong direction and says with the Thanksgiving holiday around the corner, families must assess the risks of gathering this year.
I'm 79 years old. I mean, I feel less worried about myself, but my daughters feel that they don't want to put their daddy at risk.
Dr. Fauci says he'll be joining his family virtually this Thanksgiving, but urges Americans who do gather in person to wear a mask and open windows to increase ventilation.
You don't want to be the person, the Grinch that stole Thanksgiving.
The important thing here is, to try to minimize risk as much as possible.
Dr. MONROE with George Washington University says there's not a one-size-fits-all solution for families.
Encourage attendees to wear a mask. So even if people do gather, it's not going to feel or shouldn't feel like a normal Thanksgiving because nothing is normal this year.
Dr. Fauci cautions normal life isn't going to return for quite some time.
I think people who think once you get a vaccine, we can forget about public health measures. It's not going to be that way for a considerable period of time, many, many months into 2021, if not the entire year.
Reporting in Washington, I'm Morgan Wright.